Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Life episode. I forget because it's been too hectic today. Episode 323, Xbox wins November. So, everybody can hear me correct? I'm Brun, BJ Swig 33. Along with me is Rob, which I'm pretty sure everybody can hear.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob, also known as Presar.
And then what we're hoping is everybody can hear the next man, which is Mark, Wingman 709.
Hi, everybody.
So,
I hope you can hear me.
which I don't know.
Is this thing on?
Is it on? Can we hear you? Fine.
Hi, everybody.
I think they can hear you. So,
Well, Vengeful Loki said, "Woohoo! Yes." I don't know if he was replying to "Can they
Mark.
hear me?" though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Mark is like a little soft.
yes,
I'm
Or-
a very soft, kind of tender-hearted kind of guy.
now I've turned up a lot of my audio and stuff. It's kind of cranked right now. It's not 100%, or else I wouldn't be able to have my headphones on. So we'll have to go with what we have tonight. So
Well, want me to let me bump my microphone in Skype just one notch, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Because if you guys are both the same, then and if it's just me, it's probably my headset or my settings.
Yeah.
So
all right,
I
It's-
sound
it's-
like I'm in a pit.
it's it's like we're darned if we do, and we're darned if we don't this episode. So, but
Episode 323, the episode from beyond.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
where.
so all right, guys. Well, we're delayed, so we're gonna hop right to it. I have to adjust my windows around here right now. Zip this over here. Right, so I can see that. I can see that. I need two more monitors. My wife would let me have them. So, but all right. Welcome.
I was in this trading firm. This dude had 16 monitors. I was like, wow.
No,
It was 4x4. That's what you need.
amazing. Well, so you can see us by visiting this xboxlife.com. You can support us by shopping. Ooh, somebody mute. Shopping at Amazon, which that is that right there. By going to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, or you can go to thisxboxlife.com, click on the Amazon thing that's on the right hand side, and that will take you. It's actually country agnostic, I guess. It doesn't matter where you're from, it'll take you to where you need to be. So, with that, let's keep moving. And we're going to keep this one short. All right, guys, can we agree on what we've been playing? No half hour? So we'll be on schedule if we just burn right through it. So, we've been playing,
I
Rob.
make no promises.
I
make
plan
no
on
promise.
talking all night.
Oh. So,
I've got all this pent up talking from the last half hour where I've just had to sit here and be quiet. I'm all ready to get going. But anyway, so this past week, it's been kind of a very busy week. Not a whole lot of gaming for me. I did dust off Rise. I believe Mark mentioned it last week. I think was it you and Loki? I think we're playing this.
Democulus.
Democulus, okay. And so I fired up again, and I haven't played Rise probably since last December. I haven't touched it. And I started playing, I'm like, yeah, this is a good game. I just love it. It just, those combos, those executions at the end, it's like yellow, blue, blue. They just sit there and just knife them, and it's fantastic. Love it. So Rise is definitely a good time. I'm glad I purchased it initially, and I'm glad I picked it up again. And if you haven't been playing this thing in quite a while, if you never finished it, definitely give it a shot. And that was it for me.
all right. I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Unity, and I played the game that must be in it's a must-have in everybody's library, and that is Diablo 3. Played with some with Mark and Nighthawk 70 and Nautilus was on there again this weekend, and we did some rifts today. And moving forward, hopefully we can get up to those T6 rifts here in a while. So definitely T6 greater rifts. That would be fun. I played some Papers, Please on the PC. And
it's an oldie.
Well, yes, the reason why I played it some on the PC is because I bought and played Papers, Please on iOS this week. So it released on Thursday or Friday. I can't remember exactly what day it released, but it's on there and works really well. So, but yep, the must-have Diablo 3. If you don't have it, go get it this Christmas. So, all right, Mark, what you got?
All right, well, I'll make this short because I was told I sound like I'm on an old Nokia phone from 1997. So things are just bad audio-wise for me tonight. I did play Diablo 3. I played some of that Monopoly Plus, which is part of that Hasbro Games channel. If you're wondering where the Hasbro Games channel is, it's an app for some reason. But it's weird. You can... If you want to buy the full thing, you have to go to the store to buy the Monopoly Family Fun Pack, I think it is. And even after you've installed it, if you launch the Hasbro game channel, it'll tell you have to buy the games. So what I found out was if you just launch the game directly, it will then show up in the Hasbro game channel later on, and it'll just say you can play it from there. But just buy it from the store, get the pack if you want all 3 games. The card game really sucks. Monopoly Deal, I think it's called. That's lame as can be. It really is. It's not worth the money. So if you do like Monopoly, the little Monopoly game is fun. It's got a 3D version with all the stuff in the background moving around, and it's pretty cool. I played with Vengeful Loki today, and but I did find out that even though I'm playing online against someone, that the other person can still cheat. So I know Loki cheated. But that's all right. I mean, if he likes to win that way, I guess if he can sleep comfortably at night, then, all the power to him. I say he cheated because he beat me. But it was fun. It was a fun little game. So that's available. And also, they're going to have Risk, Trivial Pursuit. I think it was Scrabble or maybe Boggle or something like. There's a couple games. If you open the channel, you'll see some other stuff that's planned for the game channel. So it'll be fun. And then because I did upgrade to Windows 8. So again, sorry for all the starts tonight. I had a major problem. I had to rebuild my machine from scratch, and I went with Windows 8.1. And I had to call Rob for some help because I was still having issues with it, and he helped me through figuring out what the problem was, and it's been stable and running. But for some reason, we can't get Skype working. But because I went to Windows 8.1 on my home machine, I played a lot of the Windows 8.1 games. So I've been playing Solitaire and Sudoku and Microsoft Bingo and a lot of those fun games, Angry Birds. So, but that's it for me for this week.
All right. So that leads us into the news, and I'm the lucky one that has the news this week. So we have 15 stories. So I will try to knock them out because we have some good topics this week on the roundtable. All right. It's hard because I can hear myself muffled. It's really hard to talk today. So, all right. First, we don't have pictures for the news, so sorry. Wingham had them all, and this quick jump, we kind of lost that part. So, starting on December 10th, which was Wednesday, my birthday, by the way, Minecraft is celebrating the season with Minecraft Festive Mashup Pack. This pack adds holiday cheer for the small price of $2.99. Next, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is expected in February 2015, has been delayed. The new day is May 19th, 2015. So not pushed that much, but they needed to push it. New features have been added to the Xbox One Twitch app, and some of you that are using that right now might see them already. The new app now uses Xbox Live's new ability to associate real-time gameplay stats with broadcasts, which enables a massive array of search options. Depending on the game, the filters may include player stats, game modes, maps, player skill level, in-game activity, progress, and more. In addition to the advanced broadcast filtering, they're excited to bring fans videos on demand. Xbox One is the first console where you can view Twitch videos on demand. You'll begin to see highlights and past broadcasts available to watch at any time, even when the broadcaster is offline. Finally, your home screen has been overhauled to provide a more personalized experience. Follow specific games or specific channels, like ours, which then pop up right on your home screen. Broadcasters are also receiving some hot new profile pages so viewers can learn more about them. So that's cool. For those who purchased Borderlands, the pre-sequel, you'll be getting the Ultimate Vault Hunter mode this week. Or you may already have it, because I know it was kind of last week, I think a couple days ago when this was posted. This is the mode that it was introduced in Borderlands 2, which resets the story progress and starts the player out on a more difficult journey. Microsoft confirms Rise of Tomb Raider is an Xbox exclusive by announcing that it is actually publishing the title. So there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Microsoft, it is an exclusive title. So I think Sony just talked. They have Street Fighter V exclusive, which is pretty interesting. So I'm getting some exclusive titles. Showtime Anytime has been added to the list of Xbox One apps. Launched sometime last week, and the app brings hours of Showtime programming. So if any of you guys use Showtime, you can now use the app there. Here is some info on Sunset Overdrive. I know, Wing, you dislike this game heavily. So, are you on mute?
Yes.
Okay.
Terrible game, man. I just absolutely, and unfortunately I'll have to go and play the DLC too, just to see if if it's still as horrible as the first 60 hours I put into it.
Okay. Well, the first story DLC, dubbed The Mystery of Muoil Rig. The DLC sees your character following a distress signal to an oil rig off the coast of Sunset City. There you'll find a violent conflict between factions of well-armed workers, and because the developer loves it, that squamous, what in the world? Explosion effects, you'll be able to find healthy complement of mutants. Since the addition takes place on a floating man-made island, the DLC grants player 2 new movement options. The water dive allows players to submerge for a short time, while the water slam bounce sees the player's melee smash into the water, only to be catapulted to great heights. The DLC also includes new weapons, traps, amps, and chaos squad objectives. Though it doesn't give any useful details. Okay, this is kind of an end of story. Looks like it'll be available on December 23rd for $10, or a part of the $20 Overdrive
Season pass.
Yeah, season pass. So that one's kind of hard. I had to piece out a bunch of stuff on that one. Microsoft is offering more free games if you pick up one of the bundles from the Microsoft Store. That's the bundle like the one I picked up, which was the Assassin's Creed Unity. I think there's also a Halo bundle. When you buy online on the Microsoft Store, you'll be prompted to pick a game which includes, pick up an extra game, which can include Sunset Overdrive, GTA 5, and Dragon Age Inquisition. DICE has announced Final Stand will not be the final DLC for Battlefield. More is to come, but that's all we know. They haven't went into any more details than that. This one here is pretty interesting. Borderlands Remastered Edition has been listed on the Australian Ratings Board. Nothing has been confirmed, but is this just another game where they're just throwing them all together to sell more? Or is this good news? Do you think this is good news? I mean, I know all games are good news, and Borderlands is a fantastic game, and we all love it. It's nothing against Borderlands, but is it just, I'd rather have a new one. So,
I think it's a money grab,
okay.
Honestly, because what are you going to remaster? You know what I mean? How is this going to? It's like a animated, cel-shaded game. How are they going to make what it is look better? You know what I mean?
True.
It's not like because of the style of the game it is, I don't see them really making any visual improvement to it. I don't really see how they could.
Yeah. The one thing that I saw in the article, and I didn't put it here, is if it was Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel with all the DLC in one game, and say $60, is that what we're talking? Are we talking like a Halo Master Chief Collection type of game? Then maybe it would be worth getting if you want to play it or continue to play it or whatnot. So, yep.
That's a good question. I don't know. Was it?
It didn't say.
Double check. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just meant the original game was
Nope.
being remastered.
Nobody knows because they actually asked for comment or confirmation, and they said we do not have anything to announce at this time. So nobody knows. All right. Next one. I don't know what this is, but it's like hashtag. I'm going to say IDAR, but it's IDARB. Enters Xbox One in February with free games with gold. It is a 2D side-scrolling basketball-inspired pixelated esports romp exclusive to Xbox One, though the Xbox ID at Xbox program. It is also an experiment in crowdsourcing, meaning other Ocean regularly seeks player input for more additions, tweaks, and features to throw into the game. And that's about it. So it looks like it's... I think I remember us talking about this a while back or a couple shows ago where it was just like, hey, we're going to get something free from ID at Xbox, and we're going to have our own say in what goes into it or whatnot. So looks like it's coming in February, and it's free for the games for gold. So maybe it's just another cop-out to give us what type of games we're getting, these free games that we're getting. Hint, hint, for later. All right. Enough of that. Giant Sisters Twisted Dreams Director's Cut is now available on Xbox One. The game will cost you $14.99 in the US, or anything comparable, I guess, in the other countries.
Regions.
Yep. Oh, sorry, my things are Oh, I thought I said Gianna.
Giant.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Gianna.
Giana.
Okay.
Gianna.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I mistyped it. Microsoft is now accepting Bitcoin. Anybody that uses Bitcoin, you can add. It looks like you can add $1,000 a day, or a max, and which then is a maximum of $5,000 per account. So,
what is Bitcoin? I know I'm on
It's
my
a-
stupidity, but
it's a cryptocurrency. So, I could explain it to you in about an hour if you wanted me to.
sure, we got time.
Okay. So yeah, it's you basically mine for Bitcoin. Yeah, you'll have to look it up and read about it. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yep. There's other Litecoin and Dogecoin, and there's a couple other different ones out there.
Yeah.
So Afterburner Climax is getting delisted on the 360 and PS3 on December 24th. So if you want to get it, make sure to go out and grab it now. And then also UFC will be entering the EA Access Vault on December 18th. So another game added to their collection. And that is it for the news.
Yay!
Yeah.
Woo!
Whoop.
Whoop what?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out an
There it
image.
is.
There we go.
Oh, that's right. I'm delayed. I'm like, I still see breaking news.
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah. So I switched to Facebook. I'm like, no, not Facebook. And I got the old Facebook image too. So, but all right, round table. Mark, what do you got?
all right. Oh, the first one is going to be. We need to talk about what we have all predicted. I think we all did, but Xbox One is November's best-selling console. Yay! Woo!
About time.
Woo! Yeah, I hope it maintains that status, but I don't know if it will. I think it all depends on the price. But what this proves, I really think what it proves is people do not care what Phil Spencer or Jack Tretton or anybody else from these console companies or Reggie Fils-Aimé get up and say, I think people might care more about what Reggie says. I really don't think people care what Microsoft or Sony have to say about the console. They care about the price.
Yeah.
I think they both know both consoles are going to give you very similar experiences. They're going to each have a little something different that they, over the other one. But it comes down to money. It comes down to cost. The 360 did really well because the PS3 came out at, was it $200 more? It was at $600 when it retailed. And 360 sold like crazy, and PlayStation finally started selling when they dropped the price down to a reasonable price. And PlayStation 4 had a $100 lead price difference on the Xbox One, and it went out the gate like gangbusters. And as soon as Xbox One cuts the price, they turn the tables, So I think that just shows that people really are concerned about price, and that these companies need to pay attention to these trends and make these consoles affordable for people. By finding ways of cutting costs or generating revenue another way if they have to make up the difference. But I also think, companies like Sony and Microsoft can also benefit by cutting the cost of the console now that they reap the full benefits of digital distribution, and they're cutting out retailers, and Microsoft and Sony are able to make that money that they normally would not see on those. So, they are seeing a revenue increase there. And, but I don't know about you guys, if you know anybody that got any new Xbox Ones other than Braun yourself over in November.
And I think Night. Go ahead. No, I was going to say Night.
Stop it!
Jinx.
All right, fine, I'll go.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Now, one of my buddies at work, he's been holding off for some time now, and I think me badgering him every day and talking about the Xbox, that definitely did get him to go and get an Xbox. Wow, early November. So he was one of the people that got that fantastic deal of the discounted price. He got the Assassin's Creed bundle. He did a trade-in. Just fantastic deal. So I agree with what Mark was saying a little while ago, where it really does come down to money with a lot of these systems, and it seems to be a price point in addition, not just the cheapest console. Well, at least with the gamers, that seems to be the case, because I think the cheapest console still is the Wii U, and it's not selling. But between Sony and Microsoft, between those two, which are probably the big names in consoles across with gamers, there seems to be that price point of the $300 range, because all the consoles that's really struggled were the ones that start off much higher than that. And I think a lot of people don't really realize what they're getting or what they're missing with some of these, because you can sell a console without a Kinect and people just don't put it together, and then they'll pay more if they get a Kinect later, but that's for them to figure out later, and it's probably not as harsh of a blow as it is initially. So maybe people like to be nickel and dimed. I don't know.
And just for clarification too, this the Xbox outsold the PlayStation in the US and UK.
Okay.
So that's where they stated it was the best-selling console in those two regions. So in other regions, Sony obviously won.
Well,
but
we don't know
they don't
that.
have Black Friday either. I mean,
Right.
So the U.S. is the big deal of selling at this discounted price, and but the U.K. bumped up too. But I do believe the U.K. had some bundles too that the U.S. had that might not be available in other regions.
Yeah, because I don't think that bundle, at least the ones that we saw here in the U.S., those were available in every market.
Right.
Yeah, and I know Nighthawk 70, he bought one right around the time I did. And then I think he picked up like two more. Or actually both sons bought one, and then his wife bought one or something. So I think he might have 3 or 4 in his house now. I'd have to ask him to make sure. I'm kind of lost track him saying he's gotten this one and that one and here and there. So I know he's picked up. I know he's picked up at least 2 more. So, but yeah, I think it's good news. I think we all knew it was going to happen. I think they're going to carry over to December. It was funny. Some of the articles I read is it's like Xbox for the first time outsells PlayStation, and I guess Xbox made them change the title of that because it is not the first time. They outsold them like in December of last year as well, or something like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So, we won.
Yay! Woohoo!
So, we're number one now. We can
It's-
not release any games all year. So,
It's like, yeah, we're number one. Big deal. Let's just keep playing.
exactly.
Just keep enjoying the games.
I don't feel any different. Do you guys feel any different?
I feel like a winner.
Oh,
Chicken dinner.
Well, it's probably because we didn't win, bro.
Right.
We're not Microsoft, so. But also, before I forget, and it's not in our thing, two things because eventually Loki will be mad at me. Maybe you guys will recall the name, or Loki can put the name up in the chat for me to remind me of who I'm supposed to talk about. But I'll come to that in a second, give him a chance to put the name up. But it looks like we talked about last week about the Xbox Live getting hacked and the threat from that group saying they're going to take it down on Christmas Day, take Xbox Live down for a long period of time. There's been news reports that another hacking group has actually taken that group down and published all their personal
Nice.
information, home phone numbers, addresses, parents' names. Like, I mean, I was like, is this real? So I don't really know if that's a true story, if it's internet hoax. I really don't know. But I found it interesting, and supposedly these people have been outed. And we'll see. So hopefully Xbox Live will be up and running just fine and dandy on Christmas Day, and the hackers will be behind bars or something. That'd be awesome. So that's a good bit of good news. The other one was, and I'm sorry, I do not have this gentleman's name, and I'm blaming Vengeful Loki because he didn't type it into the chat window. But there was the Ralph Baer.
Oh, yeah, Ralph Baer.
Look at that for timing. Ralph Baer passed away recently. Was he 92,
Yeah.
I believe?
I think that's right.
He's basically considered the father of video games. So I think I actually listened to an interview with him. Major Nelson did an interview with him
That was good.
earlier this year.
Yep.
And yeah, I was listening to that. It was very interesting to hear the stories and some of the things that he did and some of the things he made. It was a very interesting discussion. So if you are interested in hearing that, if you go back to look at Major Nelson's podcast and search back for, it had to be, I want to say sometime this past summer.
It was before that.
Maybe this spring.
Yeah.
Because I know I was out on, I could narrow it down if I look at my calendar and find out when I was out in California, because I was on my trip and I was listening to it in the car. So
Yeah.
I remember driving up from Fresno to Sacramento listening to that interview. So, but check back on his show for that interview if you want to hear about it.
Major Nelson 508.
Okay, cool.
Did he fit
April 2014.
Did he fit the interview in between where he talked about all the places he was going and the sous vide project, or was there other gaming things related in that podcast?
It was probably travel routers in there.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think it was sous vide time. That came later.
Yeah, between the food and where the places he's been flying, or itinerary. So
Now we get off topic sometimes too. Not as often.
well,
Actually,
we
I
talk
like
about
listening to them talk about gadgets.
I liked the gadgets part, but the problem is he does. I guess it's not even considered a gaming podcast; it's his podcast,
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that they know all these things, and of course they can't talk about it. But I understand that. But it's like you have this game, and you're the voice of Xbox, but all you talk about is non-Xbox stuff. So that's the hard part, I guess, for me to listen to it anymore.
I wish I could afford a Toto toilet.
Oh.
I would still get one.
Nice. But All right.
Well, we just like to give our condolences to Ralph's family,
Yeah.
and big thanks out to Ralph for all his work. I mean, we wouldn't even have this show. We don't know where we would be. I mean, he was the inventor of video games, and we owe him a lot. There's millions of people that play video games every day because of him and his great work. So we appreciate it.
It's the father of modern gaming.
All right, Rob. So I want to tap you because I believe on this next story, I believe you're already running Windows 10, correct? Or you've got the beta, or you're.
Yeah, I'm running it on the system I'm using right now.
So, it's interesting to me that Phil Spencer came out and said just recently this week that we're going to hear more about gaming in Windows 10 in January. So let me just read this article real quick. It says, in September, Microsoft revealed the core components of the Windows 10 operating system would be added to the Xbox One in a 2015 update. Though scant further information was available. So according to Xbox division head Phil Spencer, all the crucial details are coming in January. The goal of this cross-platform integration is user convenience. By including features of the Windows 10 operating system in the Xbox One, Microsoft makes things much easier for developers looking to port their games from one device to another, say from the PC to the Xbox One or from the Xbox One to a Windows Phone device. In a world where people can easily own half a dozen gaming devices, this is a very attractive feature, especially to smaller developers who lack massive budgets. Spencer will appear at Microsoft event in the Computer Giants Redmond, Washington campus on January 21st to lay out his course of action. If you can't make it to the Pacific Northwest, you'll be able to watch a live stream of the event, and we will be sure to give you guys that information as it approaches. One thing I think is cool is, like, I have found neat was I love the games on Windows 8. Some of the stuff that you can do, and it's like having the capability of playing it on Xbox, like say Angry Birds Star Wars. Right now, those two games are separate. But if you buy it on Xbox One for having it available to just, I can play it on my computer too, and having all your data, like whatever you've completed on the one is, you can just, I'm at the PC and I'll continue where I left off and then going back to the Xbox later and, continuing on, never having to like start over, play two separate instances of it because everything's stored in the cloud. I think that's kind of cool. And that's my I think that's where they're going to go with this. But what about you, Rob? I don't know if you've seen if you've got any insight to what you expect.
It's hard to say. I am running the Windows 10 technical preview, which is actually pre-beta, I guess you can consider it. It's definitely before the consumer preview, which I believe is sometime next year. And it's definitely not feature complete for most purposes. It's just a little bit different than Windows 8, not a whole lot. There are some differences that are noticeable, but for the most part, it's just business as usual. And, as in terms of what's in there already, who knows? I think a lot of it is under the hood that is not exposed to us already. But I do like the idea of what you had just said, where you can do some stuff in between systems. I don't think you can do, some things that are very graphic intensive. Let's say like Sunset Overdrive. I don't really see you carrying that over, although it is possible, right? A computer can run that game.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just really depends on its hardware. But for those, I'll call them less intensive games, that definitely could be transported over onto different platforms. And that's actually pretty exciting. I think that'd be really sweet to be able to play on your Xbox One, and then it's like, hey, you gotta head out to work or whatever it is. So you're on the train and, you pick up your computer, your laptop, you pick up a tablet and, you do some more gaming on there. That is very cool. That's like ultimate in portability especially if it's a continuation of where you left off. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Because right now you can play threes, let's say on Xbox One, and then you can go and play it on your phone. But it's not the same experience. It's not well, it is the same game, but it's different profiles. Let me call that as profile. But if you could have a continuation of it, that would be pretty sweet. Didn't they have something like this initially that they announced about a year ago of where somebody just went to different devices?
Like Project
Didn't
Spark?
they show that? I don't know if it was that.
I know Spartan Assault, Halo Spartan Assault's on both the Xbox and the
Windows.
Windows, and it was on tablet originally. But those, again, I believe that those were separate instances.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you got a discount if you had it on one, but because I played it on the Xbox when I bought it on my Windows 8, it was cheaper, but it was like you started all over and you got and you got new achievements. So the one thing that maybe if they're going to mix these, you may not double dip on achievements anymore. But then again, you won't have to necessarily play the same game twice on multiple platforms just for achievement points. I mean, I think the achievement people would prefer to keep it as it is, but like myself, I think it's cool that, again, if you're playing something like Spartan Assault, you're playing on the Xbox One, and you're playing, just taking up your family's TV, and the wife comes in or the kids come in and they want to watch something. Okay, fine. I stop the game. I grab my Surface tablet and I go in the other room and I continue playing the same game right where I left off. Or
Yeah.
I go into my office and play it on the PC right where I left off. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's that DVR experience that we finally got, where you can just go from room to room.
right. So if they're going to do stuff like that, I think that would be really cool. I already love how Windows 8, and that's one thing I really liked about Windows 8 is the games are fun to play. They look great, and I like the integration with Xbox Live built into Windows 8 already. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for the start menu and stuff on Windows 10 because I really like the look of that. And I'm a fan of the way Windows 8.1 is now. I really like Windows 8.1, but I put a line of code in the thing, and because for anybody who's wondering why they went from 8 to 10, a rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what they're saying, is there's lines of code scattered all through the Windows base code that says something like if the operating system name starts with Windows 9, then do this. And they wrote that there for like Windows 95, Windows 98, 98 SE, 90, and stuff like that. So Windows 9 would fit within that if statement. So let's call it Windows 10 and go from there. So just a interesting fact if anybody,
Oh yeah,
that is interesting.
Yeah.
Although with build numbers, wasn't Windows 8 actually Windows 6? I'm nitpicking here.
Well, let's see. 3.1, 4 would be 95, 5 would be 98. 6 would be ME. Yeah.
7 would be Vista.
Vista. 8 would be.
Well, it doesn't go that way.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it'd be rough. Hard to tell. But
see, like my preview here. So the Windows 10 technical preview is Windows version 6.4.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I don't know.
The numbering actually didn't follow.
Yeah, I wanted to do the developer's build to see all the stuff, but I only have one machine, and I'm not putting that on my primary machine. If I had a secondary laptop, or maybe I can build a VM or something and put it on there, but yeah, I'm excited for it though. So, and all this stuff's super interesting. I'm sounds good. So.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah. Final topic.
All right, so I know this one is going to be a PlayStation, but this is a PlayStation article. However, it is very it does count for us too. So there's a story that was published yesterday, I believe this was. It was on Joystick, and they talked about the PlayStation Plus free games totaled more than $1,300 in value per subscription this year.
Okay.
And so, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Wow. I wonder what the Xbox is. And Ron and I were talking about it earlier, and I went and figured it out. You get 24 free games on Xbox 360 a year, and you get 18 free games on Xbox One. You know, and I said if each one of those was just $20, which is a fair number, because these things, I don't think we've had anything that, if we have, it's been very few that have been less than $20, and there's been some that have been full retail games. And you know, you got to look at what the price is digitally at the time. So I felt $20 was probably a good average price. So we're talking about, it was like, what was it, Braun, $840 or something, I think.
Somewhere around there.
But we could figure, you know, roughly, again, so between 840 and probably about $1,000. Xbox gamers, if you owned both platforms, you got roughly about close to $1,000 worth of games for free last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yet everybody is still complaining. It's like it's never good enough. And I just don't understand that. I mean, the things I know I've said is I don't care that Xbox One is giving you one free game every for 2 months, and you only get one swapped out every month. When you were getting two, you know, that's what we were used to. But it's still, you're getting what is it, 48 games free a year through Xbox Gold if you own a 360 and an Xbox One. I mean, that's insane. We think about it, and you know, it is still free. People say, well, you got to pay the $50 a year for it. Well, Xbox Live has been $50 from its inception. Now it's like $60 if you buy it right from Microsoft, but you can still get deals for $40 a year. I've seen a couple already this week.
I got mine 36.
And there you go. And Xbox Live was for you to allow you to play multiplayer games. It was for the game matching and, you know, matchmaking and all that type of stuff. That's all it was, and we were paying to play online.
Mm-hmm.
So their addition of giving you free games is free.
Yeah.
Because it was never there for years.
Yeah. Xbox Live it's mandatory. It's mandatory. In my book, it's mandatory. And PlayStation or PlayStation Plus is mandatory now.
Yeah.
So,
and,
I mean,
you know, and now if people are going to be like, oh, well, okay, so Xbox gave away less than $1,000 and PlayStation gave away $1,300, maybe I should go over there. Keep in mind, those are PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and Vita. Yes, you get all three platforms. You get free games for all three platforms as opposed to free games for two platforms on Xbox. So that's why their number is higher. But if you don't have all three, then, you know, you're not getting that much. But whether you're on PSN or you're on Xbox or you're on both, you're still getting a tremendous amount of free gaming every year. And whether it's a game you want or not, or whether it's one you would never have paid for, if you're still downloading it and you're still playing it, you got nothing to complain about, you know, and it is free. And, you know, I think people just need to realize and take a step back before they start running off with their mouth or off with the keyboard on the internet about how these companies suck and they don't, you know, blah, blah, blah. And this game is, you know, 20 years old and whatever. You know, some of these older games I've never played and actually turned out to be quite fun. Some of these free games like, what's it called? Defense Grid. It was one I never bought, never would have tried it. Came out free. I tried it. Oh my gosh, this is fun. I love it. Ended up buying Defense Grid 2 when it came out, you know? And so this is a good way to find those games. And you got to remember, they're not going to give you the new hotness for free. Okay, you want the new hotness? Go buy a new console and get it free with that, you know? So I just thought it was interesting that, you know, yeah, we probably got about $1,000 worth of free games this past year. I don't really think about it. We don't really, you know, we always say, oh, there's a free game. It's just a cheap little game. But over a year's time frame, it adds up. And that's a lot of money saved or a lot of free content we had access to. And I just want to make sure, take a moment, people realize that.
Well, in addition, I want to add, so, you know, on the 360, well, a lot of us have both consoles, okay? And at least everybody listening here has at least one of them. So you're going to be getting at least 20 or at least 18 if you have the Xbox One, or at least 24 if you have the 360. You'll be getting what is that? 30? No, 42. Is that right for both? If you have both,
What, 24 and 18? Yes,
yeah,
42.
42. That's 42 games that you're going to get in a year. I can tell you this: there is no way I would be buying 42 games in a year. I mean, it just would not happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If this is going to be out of your pocket, well, except maybe Demaculus, he's excluded.
Oh, Wings bought over 42 games this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the average person just doesn't buy that many. They buy, some big A titles.
I didn't buy that many. That's how many I have. That included the free ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what I've purchased, I'd have to look. But yeah, I've purchased probably pretty close to that. It's a lot. It's ridiculous.
So just the sheer amount of gaming that you're getting for free. And okay, if you want to consider it, you're getting it for $60 or $40 or whatever you paid for live. It's a fantastic deal. And the reason, or them giving away the games for both the PlayStation and the Xbox One, we all win. It doesn't matter if you get one game, you still make out. So I just hope that they keep this up. I hope that one company doesn't drop out and then the other company drop out, because they don't have to give this to us. They weren't giving this to us a couple of years ago, and I think we're making out. We're lucky to have this.
And if the game doesn't appeal to you, it might appeal to your wife or to your kids or someone else in your family. And with Xbox Live Gold, Home Gold, everybody can play these. It's not tied to just your one gamer tag. So,
and I get these games every single month. Half of them I've never even installed, and I have no intention of installing, but I still get them. Why not get them?
I booted my 360 and download the dumb thing, and now I'm to the point of, well, I don't have room, so I'm just going to start going through Xbox.com and saying download it, because that's all you have to do. As long as you click it to download it during its free time, then you're good to go.
Yeah, you have to do that like fake purchase.
Yeah, that way if you ever boot your 360 up and you ever want to play it, it's there.
Yeah,
it's already part of your account. So
thanks, Microsoft.
Yeah.
I like free stuff.
Oh, same here.
But yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, on to the community. We have a Facebook group. I know the URL that you see here is incorrect. It's actually facebook.com/group/this Xbox Life. Is that the correct one now?
I think, yes, that is correct.
Okay. Or you can search for This Xbox Life. Great area to go out and talk to everybody. For anybody that's new or just now listening, you'll see everybody out there and good game discussions. We can be emailed at contact@thisxboxlife.com, and emails we read on the show during this community area. You can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/thisxboxlife. And no voicemails or anything. Oh, if you want to send us a voicemail, you can go to thisxboxlife.com, and on the right-hand side, you'll see Send Voicemail. Click on that, do everything that it asks, and leave one, and we also play them on the show during this time. I think that's it for now. So, Rob?
All right, this week's new releases, or this coming week's new releases, are a little scant, I guess. For the 360, we have Monopoly Plus coming out, and as of right now, there really isn't anything for the Xbox One. Hopefully, Major Nelson will surprise us with some of his, little cheapy titles that he announces. Like, hey, this is coming out. It's like, okay, we didn't hear about this at all.
Like Gianna's sisters?
Yeah. Yeah, so we got to figure out a way to find out about this stuff in advance, if it's noted anywhere. I think that this stuff just isn't being tracked by any sites.
Yeah, I know the one source we now use seems to be a little bit better for some reason.
Yeah.
They do seem to have some of these these smaller games that are digital only. I've seen them on that list, so hopefully here that will improve. But yeah, Microsoft doesn't even advertise them, so
Yeah.
hopefully they'll improve on that next year.
So hey, it's in some ways it's nice to have a surprise. Like, hey, this game's out. Although a lot of them you look at it like, what the heck is this? Like those last couple.
Yeah.
So
All right.
But that's it.
all right. And with the games, you know, Vengeful's in the chat here, and he's like, "Get ready for everybody for your last minute shopping." And I asked him, "Where could you go?" And he said, "You can never have enough Amazon." So for all of your Christmas shopping, last minute, or you know, if you want to order me something now, go to Amazon or thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, or you know, head over to the website and click on the Amazon link from there. So, and I've been using it, so and looks like everybody else has. And Hawks placed 3 orders in the last week, so good. We'll be able
buy more cat litter today.
Oh, I'd
You
hope
actually
so.
Buy cat litter through our link.
Buy everything from the link. Everything from
That's
the
right.
link.
Yeah.
So, but which is nice because we pay it forward, and you know we've given a couple things away this month, and maybe we'll have to. We're gonna have to see. Is there a way we can give away like like a copy of Diablo 3? Like force it to be Diablo 3 so that people who don't have it can actually have a chance to win it.
We can buy it and pick a winner and ship it to them.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking digital, doing a digital version.
I don't. Once they start doing digital codes,
Yeah.
then yeah, we could buy the digital code for the download. But I still don't think they've done that yet. They haven't really gone that route. I don't know if they're going to, because I think they want to keep the retailers out of it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so
I think that is it then. Do you guys have anything else?
like Loki said, a good thing. If you're gonna renew your Xbox Live membership, you can get it through Amazon through the
Yep.
link. So,
Cool.
but that's it for me.
All right. Rob, you got anything else? You lost me.
Is Rob gone?
Oh no. No, I see Rob. He says lost run.
Well, I don't even hear Rob, so.
Nope.
But his mouth isn't moving.
No.
All right. Well, we'll just close then without him, I guess. So, are we done, Brun?
Must be Windows 10.
Yeah. All right.
So-
Well, I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
All right. Rob is Rob, also known as Presar. And I think it must be on his end. So, because we're talking to each other.
Yes, we are.
All right. And I'm Brun, BJ Swick 33. Everybody have a good one.